Hey, I'm Amber from the training Toole. If you have osteoporosis, there are some very specific things that you need to do to help strengthen your bones and your body. First, I want you to check with your doctor before you do this to make sure that these exercises are appropriate. Let's talk about some basics. There are movements that you need to avoid because of the possibility of hurting your spine. So first, we don't want flexion of the spine, so you don't want to bend forward at the waist. We're not going to do anything with that involved. You also want to be very careful of twisting exercises so that you don't do anything to harm the spine. So today we're really going to work on lengthening, opening up, standing really nice and tall with good posture. The first thing you want to work on are your upper back muscles. We're going to start out with a gentle stretch. I just want you to take the arms forward and then pull them back. Just like that, just drawing those elbows to the back, opening up the chest and then stretching through the front, just working through your range of motion. And then I want you to take and turn those palms towards one another and open the arms straight out and then back. Since the upper back muscles need to be strengthened, I really want you to focus on those here. I want you to think about a graceful movement as opposed to an aggressive movement. We aren't going to do these aggressively. I'm going to turn around and I want you to look at my back muscles. So as I draw those arms out, my shoulder blades are going to come together towards my spine and then I'm going to reach them back out. So if you'll watch those bones, those shoulder blades in my back, I'm drawing them together gently and then pressing it forward. As you do that, you'll feel those back muscles engage. And again, I want it to be a gentle, graceful movement, not a squeezing really tight and pulling. Now bend those elbows, same thing, I'm going to turn around. Look at those shoulder blades, they're going to draw together and then stretch apart. You'll feel those upper back muscles begin to engage. They might start to get a little tired, and if they do, I want you to rest. Now, take those arms, your elbows are in line with your shoulder. Your elbow is in line with your wrist. You're going to make a little box here. Now this isn't your back muscles necessarily, they help a little bit, but this is going to engage that rear deltoid, and I just want you to rotate up. So think about the palm is facing down, the palm is now facing the front. Watch your elbows. You may need to look at yourself in a mirror to make sure that you're doing this correctly, rotating through the shoulders. So I'm rotating through the shoulders. My elbows are staying in line with my shoulders. They aren't moving. Now let's do some strengthening for those back muscles. First, you can start with a resistance band. Wrap it around a sturdy object. I'm using my bench here. And I want you to hold the band. You want it to be about chest level. And then I want you to start out pulling the shoulder blades back and then reaching forward. The good thing about a resistance band is you can control the tension. You can make it harder by shortening the band or by stepping further away from where your base is, or you can step closer to make it a little easier, or lengthen the band to make it easier. Now these are your wide rows. Now I want you to make it narrow. Turn the palms to face one another and draw it in and then reach it out. Still working the back muscles, just working them in a different position, engaging some smaller muscles that are different around there. Remember to do as many as feels comfortable for you right now at your level. And if your back muscles begin to get tired and fatigued, I want you to stop, take a rest, that's okay. Now if you've got dumbbells handy, you can do this same exercise just in a different position. So I'm going to take a dumbbell, I'm going to use my bench. Now I am bending forward, but I'm not necessarily bending forward at the waist where my back is in flexion. I'm going to keep a nice neutral spine, my belly button is in. You can do a wide row so that the elbow goes out to the side. And you can also do a narrow row. course, we have to do each side. So once you get finished with one side, then you're going to want to spin around and do the other. Make sure that you keep the shoulders and the hips in alignment. Here's your wide. Remember, I'm gently bringing that shoulder blade toward my spine. It's a graceful movement, not an aggressive movement. And then pull here. Keeping that belly button in. Remember, the belly button is going to help you engage your core, and then your spine will be stronger because your core is engaged. Good, then we can release out of that and move on to the next set of exercises. So, your muscles need to be strengthened. Even though your issue is with your bones, your muscles surround your bones, so we want them to be strong as well. I'm just going to go through some basic exercises using dumbbells. I want you to find dumbbells that are good for you at your level, depending on where you are. If you're just starting out, you may want to start with 2 or 3 pounds just to get the movements in. We're going to go into bicep curls here. Shoulders are up, belly button is in. So the entire time that I'm working my body, I'm keeping that core tight. I'm engaging that and allowing my spine to be stable through the strengthening of my core. Shoulders relaxed. Now we're working on the bicep in the front. I need you to squeeze that muscle, take it down, squeeze through the bicep, control it down. From here, we're going to work the muscle opposing the bicep, which is the tricep, in the upper back part of your arm. I just want you to take your arms slightly behind you. They are straight, your body is straight, and you're just going to lift and lower. Just as high as you can. Everybody's shoulder flexibility is different, so if your arms don't come up as high as mine, that's okay. You may only be right here. As long as you're just moving within your range of motion, you're good. And try to keep breathing. Exhale as you lift. Good, then I want you to take it into squats. You may need a chair here. If you've got some balance issues, I want you to be very careful with that. We're going to start with our feet shoulder width apart. I'm going to sit back towards my bench, or the chair in your case if you have one, and then stand it up. Making sure that I really sit those hips back, keep the weight in the heels. We don't want to push our hips forward. That's an incorrect movement. Push your hips back, as if you're trying to push them towards the wall behind you if you have one. Definitely going back towards that chair. Now change that into narrow squats. Feet are closer together. Find a place that feels good to you. Sit it back. If you're not quite good at squats yet, what I want you to do is sit into the chair and then stand up. Use your heels, push. Try to lift the toes a little bit. That'll help you put that weight on the back part of your foot and give you good form as you're standing up. And lift. From here, we're going to go into our calf raises. Again, if you have balance issues, I want you to either put the weights down or put one down and place one hand on a chair or a wall, somewhere where you feel sturdy. We're going to lift up onto the toes, slowly control ourselves back down, working through those calf muscles in the lower back portion of your leg. If you're pretty good with balance, hold both of your weights and do this. We are going to transition these calf raises into heel drops. One thing that helps your bones get stronger is for them to feel a little impact. And of course, because they are weakened, you have to be careful with the type of impact you give them. Stand up tall, lift up on those toes, and then drop those heels to the ground. This is a good enough impact to help those bones start to grow a little bit more. And if you're feeling uncomfortable with the weights, just go ahead and put those down. You can do heel drops without them. What are we doing with the belly button? Pull that in, keep it nice and tight. Shoulders up, chest is up and open. Good. Now I just did one set of each of those. If you're a little stronger, you can definitely do 2 sets or 3 sets. Just depends on your fitness level. Now we're going to go into some standing balance. So, find that chair, find that wall, and then as you work, Keep the belly button in, the breastbone is lifted up, chest is open, and we're going into outer thigh presses. Keep breathing. Balance work is great to do because you want to make sure that you are able to not fall down. Since your bones are a little bit more brittle, if you fall down, that means you're more likely to break something or injure yourself. So we want to work that balance, but we also want to do it safely. So if you don't feel comfortable standing on one leg, please use something to hold on to until you get stronger. While you're holding on, if you're focused on that belly button and the chest, and you're moving through this with a nice tight core, that's going to help you get stronger. And then we have to do the other side. Spin it around and go. Chest is up, belly button is in. Press that leg out, bring it back. Remember to stand tall. You want to stand as tall as you can. Good. Now turn it back around. Stand it up. Belly button in. Take that left foot out to the front, kind of turn your toes out to the side. We're going to do a little inner thigh lift. And while you're standing close to something, if you feel good with your balance, you can always let go, but stay near it. So if you get a little wobbly, you just hold back on, that's okay. Remember, core tight, chest up, as long through the spine as you can be. Good, and then inner thigh on the other side. Foot forward, turn the toes out, and lift. Try your hand at the balance here, if you feel comfortable. Remember, stay close by to something you can grab onto if you feel like you're losing your balance. My belly button is pulled in. You can also hold that finger there. That'll help you remind yourself to pull that belly button in. The next exercise we're going to do is a glute squeeze. I don't want you to lean forward, so find that tall back of a chair or onto a wall as you do this. So we're going to keep our belly button in, take our leg to the back, kind of turn your toes out, and it's a diagonal lift. And when you lift it, you want to squeeze right into that tush. That's going to help your glutes get a little bit stronger. And then the other side. So, leg goes back to the diagonal. As we lift, we tighten that glute every time. Think about elongating through the spine, really keeping that belly button in. Make sure you're not dropping the chest or rounding forward. That's a movement we do not want to do, especially with osteoporosis. Good, and then relax. So all of these things are great for you to do. You want to incorporate those into your daily movement patterns and really work on getting stronger. Remember, weight-bearing exercises are great to do. So if you can walk, getting out there and walking is a wonderful thing to do. Of course, swimming in the pool is good. Doing a little bit of pool aerobics is great, although it doesn't really give you all the body weight that you have to use. So do as much as you can outside of the pool. Weight training is a weight-bearing exercise because you're standing on your feet. So if you can incorporate some weight training in there with safe exercises that don't affect your bones in a negative way, you definitely want to do that. Have fun doing these and stay fit.